my screw ups, my mess ups, because he's already prepared for what I might do. He knows what I'm going to do before I do it, and he already made preparation for me before I get there. What follows darkness is light. That darkness is the indicator that light is getting ready to shine. So there it is in Genesis, when darkness was upon the face of the deep, and God in the spirit form moved upon the face of the waters, and then God said, let there be. Because darkness precedes the light. Are you understanding what I'm saying? But he needs the darkness there so that God can move upon the face of the deep, so that the shift can take place. Listen, look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor that shift take place in the darkness. Oh God, y'all didn't hear what I just said. Everybody's not going to see the shift that's happening. They see the chaos, but they don't see the shift. They see all the craziness going on in your life, but they don't understand that underneath the darkness, God is moving in secret. He's moving in quiet. He's moving in the hidden places. He's moving in the cracks and the corners and the crevices. He's moving in places that you cannot see. And when the light comes, they're going to see a new order. Afraid to dream, afraid to imagine. But I'm here to tell you that you are an infinite, limitless, boundless being. Are you willing to do what is necessary to have what you desire?
Thank you for joining us. Please take a moment and like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube page, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. If you are finding value in these enrichment sessions, please consider supporting this page financially. Your donations allow us to continue to provide spiritual enlightenment, self-exploration, and kingdom knowledge. Also, consider becoming a partner because partnerships have its privilege. As a partner, you'll be able to attend our annual Partners Only Summer Summit, join us for our 6 a.m. virtual daily guided meditation sessions, weekly advanced empowerment sessions, regular prophetic insights and instructions, 30% discount on all Emerge books and merchandise, and a custom Emerge t-shirt. You'll also gain full access to the private Emerge Movement community page as well as group chats. Once again, thank you for watching.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to the Emerge Empowerment Session. I'm your host, Isaac J. Miles Sr., and you just tuned into one of the most powerful places on the planet, because we are here to equip you and empower you with all of the tools necessary for you to be able to develop and evolve and grow and create the kind of life that you desire. This is the place to be. Thank you to all of you who are watching on TikTok, as well as for those of you who are watching us live on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. I appreciate your joining in. You are welcome to give us your comments, your thoughts, your questions. Definitely, I want to address all of them. Oh, let me switch over here so that I'm able to look at your questions if there are any. So I can see all of the comments that are coming through on Facebook and on YouTube. And for those of you who are watching us on TikTok, I'm going to try and keep up with your comments as well. Thank you so much for being a part of this live session. We're going to try and keep everything within 1 hour. Sometimes we kind of go over, but I'm going to try and keep it within 1 hour. I'm going to ask those of you who are watching us across all platforms to do me a couple of favors before we jump into the topic for today that I know is going to be rich, and it's going to be lively, and it's probably going to spur a lot of questions and a lot of thoughts, and that's what it's about. I want you to think, I want you to have questions, and I want you to get answers and then question the answers. But I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things for me. All of you watching across every platform, please share this live broadcast with your friends, your family, your mom and them, your cousin them, your dad and them, all of them. Share it with everybody that you possibly can so that we can build a larger and wider audience. We want to reach as many people as we possibly can. So please share it, send it out in your group chat, send it out in your group text. Those of you who are watching on TikTok, share it with everybody on your list. As many people as you possibly can. I really, really would appreciate your support. Thank you for your engaging with me. Those of you who follow me on TikTok know that I am a very active engager. So I thank you for returning that love and that favor to me. Thank you for engaging with me. Share, 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 share. Share it. Share it on your page. Share it to your family. Share it in your groups so that everybody can be a part of this conscious conversation. The second thing that I need for you to do is to like this video, like this live. When you hit the like button, it engages the algorithm and again helps us to broaden our audience and pushes it out even further. So those of you watching us on Facebook and on YouTube, hit that like button, hit it as many times as you possibly can. Those of you watching me on TikTok, we got a goal today. I want to try and reach at least 15,000 likes. So I really need you to start double tapping that screen right now, even as we're getting started into this conversation. Help me to reach the goal of 15,000 likes today. I know that we can do it. We got to 12,000 last week. So let's see if we can get up to that 15,000 mark today. Okay, 15,000 likes. Hit that button, hit the screen rather, tap that screen, double tap, and let's get as many likes going as we possibly can. Those of you watching on Facebook and on YouTube, hit the like button as well. And then this is specifically for the people who are on Facebook. Tag. That's the one thing that you can do. The others cannot. I need you to tag as many of your friends, family, and loved ones in the comment section right now so that you can invite them to come over and be a part of this conscious conversation. Hey, Tim, that's my natural son right there. He said, oh, you're working this morning. So you're going to be in and out. I understand that. I understand, son. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. The video will be left up so you'll be able to watch it later on and watch it on the replay. So today, our topic today is, I entitled it, What's Coming? A Prophetic Look Forward. On TikTok, it just says a look forward because they didn't allow me enough character space to put the word prophetic in there. But it is a prophetic, clairvoyant, psychic look forward. We're going to look at some things that are unfolding as they begin to take place. One of the promises that is illuminated and promoted in the New Testament scripture, it speaks about the personality of the manifestation of the Holy Spirit being our comforter or paraclete, living within us, the Spirit of God, divine Spirit, living, moving, and abiding in us. And it says that its job is to lead us and guide us into all truth. And most people quote that part of the text, St. John chapter 15, but they don't read the latter part of it. It does not just say that it will lead and guide you into all truth. It says, and in conjunction with giving you leadership and guidance, it will also show you things to come. It will show you things to come. In other words, that it gives us a revealing insight, a premonition, if you will, a prophetic view into things before they take place, before they unfold, before they happen. And this is not just for people who label themselves a prophet or a psychic or a seer. This is everyone. Everyone has the ability, the capacity to tap into, tune into, align themselves with the divine spirit that abides in each and every one of us and gain insight into those things which are to come. I've been holding this for a minute. I'm going to take a sip, okay? Oh, that's good. Today it's peppermint tea. I think, what was it last week? I think I did ginger lemon last tea, but today it's peppermint. That's good tea. Herbal tea. Okay, so the spirit within us gives us insight into those things which are to come. Now, not everybody is into spirituality. Some are more so, more involved than others, more attuned than others. But if you are one of those people who have a spiritual practice that you are consistent in following and very intentional about aligning yourself with the divine that lives within all of us, each of us being a animated expression of the all of everything, an animated expression of God. If you're one of those people who've done so, then you know that as we approach what we call the close of a year, there's some debate about that, whether it's the Gregorian calendar, Hebrew calendar, or other types of calendars out there. But as we approach this particular season, let's say that right now you have felt the shifting and the movement that normally takes place around this particular season as we prepare to step into what we call a new year or a new start or a new beginning. And there are some things that are unfolding universally, cosmically, in the heavens, in the earth, that are happening right now. For those who have been attuned, you have been sensing this movement, this shifting, the unfolding that is taking place as we are evolving and stepping into a new narrative of how life will be lived, a paradigm shift, the mode of operation, how things function, move, and operate within the earth realm, this three-dimensional plane of consciousness, is drastically shifting and changing. And this month marks the beginning of an historic change that is about to take place in the earth that will have a global effect across all of humanity. Let me say it again. This month marks a dramatic, revolutionary, evolutionary paradigm shift that will affect the entire globe and all of humanity. This is not relegated to any religious ideology. It doesn't matter whether you consider yourself a Christian or a Buddhist or a Hindu or a Taoist or a Muslim. It doesn't matter whether you are an atheist or an agnostic. This is a universal shift in the pattern that will affect all of humanity. And here's the thing, that when this kind of a dramatic shift take place, and it's not as often as a lot of people will have you to believe. As a matter of fact, unfortunately, you hear a lot of people using that terminology. It becomes a buzzword. People say, shift is happening. I feel a shift. I feel a shift. No, you don't. You feel emotional. Okay? Because paradigm shifts happen very infrequently. We happen to be alive at one of the greatest moments in world history because we get to experience a true paradigm shift. The last time a shift like this took place was in the 1700s, 1792 to be exact. So it's been hundreds of years since we've seen this type of paradigm shift take place throughout the global community that encompasses all of Earth and all of the universe and every galaxy known and unknown to mankind. So this is a historic, revolutionary, evolutionary shifting. Okay, and you see me going back and forth from camera to camera because I want to make sure that I'm making eye contact with those of you on Facebook and YouTube, as well as my audience that's watching on TikTok as well. So, I'm not just turning up for turning's sake. Okay, and this is a world changer. This is a world changer. This is a huge shake-up in humanity, in the way that the world and all of nature will continue to operate and to function. And so, I'll be honest with those of you who tuned in. I will not be able to cover everything because we're going to try and confine this live empowerment session to just 1 hour and be done. So there's no way that I'm going to be able to cover everything in 1 hour. So this will be part one, if you will, of a continuing series of teachings and discussions and conscious conversations that we'll have on this particular topic moving forward. But we want to kind of lay the groundwork today and maybe get into some of the details. Maybe we'll be able to touch technology, the technological revolution that is already happening and that will move even further and advance dramatically forward as over these next 20 years. We'll be able to get into that a little bit today, but probably not completely. But this evolutionary shift, this paradigm shift, this revolutionary change is going to affect every facet of our existence in this three-dimensional plane that we call Earth. This shifting, this paradigm shift is going to have a dramatic effect across the entire spectrum of our being. Let me say that again. I am not being hyperbolic. I promise you I am not. This paradigm shift is going to affect every facet of human existence in this entire world around the globe. Every mountain of influence will be affected by this shift that is taking place. Every single mountain of influence, from government to entertainment and music, from media to spirituality and religion to education. Every mountain of influence will be affected and dramatically changed by this paradigm shift. This is why they're so rare and why they don't happen as often as people purport that they do or pretend that they do. Because it is a radical change of the human experience in the earth. It is a radical change that is taking place. And if you are like me, I don't know how many of you feel the way that I do. I think that we need some radical change right about now, because right now humanity almost seems to be in chaos. It seems to just be plunged into complete anarchy and confusion. But I understand, and those of you who are spiritual and attuned understand that the anarchy, confusion, the chaos is a precursor for this type of shift that is taking place. There's always a great tumult, a great falling away, if you will. There's always this great agitation that seems to precede a drastic revolutionary change that is going to take place. And that's where we find ourselves right now. We are in a position where it feels like things are just completely haywire and out of control all around the globe, not just in the United States. Please, I need you to broaden your perception and your thought process beyond the United States, because the truth of the matter is, and I get pushback and some negative feedback every time I say this, but I'm going to keep saying it because it's the absolute truth. God is not an American. I know that may come as a shock to some of you who are so patriotically tied, and you think God is somehow tied and tethered to the United States. God is not an American. And I'll take you one step further. God is not a Christian. Oh my. I just lost some people right there on my audience. Look, my number just went down. As soon as I said it, just like, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, here you go talking crazy now. No, I'm talking reality. God is not a Christian, and God is not an American, and God is not European, and God is not African, and God is not Asian. And God, are y'all hearing me? God is not a culture. God is not a color or a race. Race is a social construct anyway. It's not a reality. It was something that was invented for various reasons, but we're not going to get into that today. God is not any of these other races or cultures. God is not a particular country, and God is not a particular religion. God is a divine, all-encompassing, all-inclusive spirit, an energy, a power, a source, the creator of all things. It's the reason that I most often refer to God as the all of everything. God is the all of everything. Everything emanates from God. Everything flows back to God. Everything is created by God. God is the preeminent existence of all that is. God is the all of everything. And when you begin to try and narrow the scope of God to fit within your particular nationality, your race, your religion, your culture, you are limiting not God, you are limiting yourself to only experiencing those things that fall within the parameter of that which you believe only that God only exists in. You are not limiting God, but you are limiting your experience of God. You're limiting your experience of the divine and your own divinity as a divine expression, an animated expression of God, the image and likeness of God. You are limiting yourself And you are limiting your experiences that you can have when you narrow your view of God to try and fit to within some cultural aspect, religious aspect, or some racial construct. That is not, God is too expansive. The universe is too expansive to be confined to your finite ideology about a religious idea, a doctrine, belief, or a cultural, environmental, or national idea or racial idea. God is beyond the scope of all of those things. So we don't want to have this conversation from a very limited, confined space, but we want to operate and think critically from a very open, wide, expansive consciousness so that we're able to glean as much from this as we possibly can. Okay, everybody with me so far? Thank you. I appreciate the gifts over here on TikTok. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for giving. Thank you for the likes. Tap the screen, tap the screen. Come on, we need to get those likes up there. I need everybody that's watching me on TikTok to start double tapping the screen right now. I want you to really, really hit that screen and share. Okay, those of you watching here, share as well. Please hit the screen as well. Hit the like button as well. As many likes as we can possibly get. So, something very dramatic is taking place in the cosmos, in the heavens, in the constellations, in the planetary systems. Now, I know that when I make that statement, I also run the risk of chasing a few people off, especially those who ascribe to the Christian ilk, because you have been told by your spiritual Christian leaders that anything that has to do with astrology, anything having to do with the stars, with constellations, anything having to do with anything that is not within the confines of that particular religious ideology is demonic. It's the devil. Oh, it's scary. It's evil. It's something that's going to cause you harm. Well, that's a bunch of nonsense. Even from a Christian perspective, it's nonsense because your own Bible teaches that there is absolutely nothing wrong, demonic, satanic, or any of those other kind of crazy notions about astrology and astronomy. Your own Bible does so. As a matter of fact, every known major religion across the world refers to astrological movements and God using the planets and the stars, the constellations, the galaxies to communicate its mind and its will. Every single religion, regardless of its faith, including Christianity, for all my Christian folk that are watching me on live as well. Okay? And I'm going to give you a few references just to kind of solidify and again lay a foundation for where we're going. But every religion, every known major religion in humanity, and every sacred text that is ascribed to by those particular religious practitioners speak to this aspect of God's revealing its divine message, will, and plan, enumerating it in the stars and the constellations. For Christianity in the Bible, Psalms 19 verses 1 and 2 says that the heavens declare or speak, or the word actually in the Hebrew literally means it prophesies. Listen to that one. That's right. The word declare, speak there actually is the word prophesy, same term, that the heavens, the sky, the constellations, the stars prophesy. Let me read it like it says. It says, Psalms 19, verses 1 and 2, the heavens declare, speak, or prophesy the glory, the word glory there, the Hebrew word is kabod, or kabod, which literally means of the expansive beauty and the mind of God. It speaks to the mind of God. Y'all remember in Exodus chapter 33, when Moses is standing inside of the cloud on top of the mountain in the very presence of God, and he asks God a question that is very pointed, and it also is revealing, because many have said, well, the glory of God must be the cloud, or the glory of God is the presence of God. Well, Moses was standing in the cloud. He had disappeared into the cloud, and the children of Israel couldn't see him anymore, according to the narrative. And he was standing in the presence of God. So he was already there in the presence, having a conversation with God about whether God would go with them as they went further in their journey to the next phase in the wilderness. And then Moses pauses and asks God a question. He makes a request of the all of everything. Moses says, show me your glory. Show me your glory. Your kabod, rather. Show me your kabod. Show me your glory. Now, he couldn't have been talking about the smoke because he was already standing within the smoke. Metaphorically, he was inside of it. He had disappeared. So the glory couldn't be the smoke. It couldn't be the smoke. And he was already standing in the presence of God. So the glory couldn't be the presence, because it would have been kind of idiotic to say, show me your glory. And yet he's standing in the presence of the Almighty, if the glory was the presence. So the glory had to be something beyond the presence and beyond the cloud, the manifestation of a cloud. What happens next gives us a clarity about what the glory is. God, in answer to Moses, says, okay, well, listen, according to the writer, the writer of this particular text, he says to him, okay, I'm going to show it to you, but no, I can't let you look into my face. No one has looked into my face and lived. Lord have mercy. But he says, listen, what I will do is I'll put you in the cleft of a rock, put my hand over your face. Now, this lets you know that it has to be anthropomorphic, because God doesn't have a face or hands. God is a spirit. Come on, anthropomorphism is when we attribute human characteristics to a spirit being. And so he says, I'm going to put my hand over your face. So don't get caught up right there. Let me take you all the way through it. And he says, and I'm going to pass by. And when I pass by, I'm going to remove my hand, and you can see my back part, the backside of where I've been and what I've done. So what Moses was actually getting to do is to look into the mind of God, the thought of God, the creativity of God, the isness of God. And so the glory then is the mind of God. It is the creativity of God. It is the isness, the ether, the eternity of God. It is seeing what we call both past, present, and future, even though that's a human construct, because with God has no past nor future. God is just is. Everything is present right now. And so the glory is the now as it unfolds in the spiral reality of what we call time. And so he says, I want to see into your mind. I want to see what is to come. I want to see what's unfolding. And then this text in Psalms chapter 19, verse 1 says that the heavens declare, speak, or prophesy what is the mind of God. They show us those things which are to come. Are you making the connection? Are you following me? This is according to the Christian Bible now. Psalms 119, it says, and God the heavens rather declare the glory, the mind, the future events of God. The skies, it says, proclaim the works of God's hands, day after day, they pour forth speech. Night after night, they reveal knowledge. That's in your Bible. That's in your Bible, Christian. It says day after day, they pour forth speech. They are prophesying. They are speaking. And night after night, they reveal what is to come. They reveal knowledge. They reveal the mind of God. So in the day they speak, in the night they are revealing. In other words, that the heavens are a pattern of events put in place by the all of everything to clue us in. Because here's the thing, God has never intended for us as the manifestation of God in the earth to be left in the dark. The only darkness that we experience is the darkness that is brought on by our own psyche, consciousness, mind that has been flooded with a bunch of idiocy and nonsense and other external influences that have taught us to forget our own divinity and clue into that eternal message that is being communicated from the heavens that we are aligned with. It was always the intent of God. It was and is always the intent of God for us to be fully consciously aware of everything that is happening and unfolding. I got to move a little bit quicker because I've already used up 37 minutes. So let me keep going. Okay. Again, another place in Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, it says, and God said, let there be light in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve, listen, as a sign to mark the sacred times and the days and the years. The heavens speaking, declaring, prophesying. In Job chapter 9, verse 9, he says, and God is the maker of Arcturus, or the bear, and Orion and Pleiades. These are the constellations of stars. Are you understanding what I'm saying? And these stars, constellations, speak. The bear is the brightest star in the universe that can easily be seen with the natural eye from the earth. Okay? And again, in Matthew, even as it relates to the ascended master Jesus, that when the Magi went to look for him, they didn't follow a road map. They looked at the star, probably the bear, and it led them to the place where Jesus, who would be the Christ, would be born. Where he was, rather. Not where he was born, where he was, because contrary to popular belief, they didn't go to a manger. They showed up at a house. At the time that the Magi finally got there, Jesus was 2 years old and he was living in a house. But that's a whole nother conversation as well. So all these nativity scenes that you see are a lie, because it didn't happen. By the time that the Magi got there, those three wise men, three kings of Orient, bearing gifts, we've traveled so far. Oh, it's a lie. Because according to the text, when the Magi arrived, Jesus was 2 years old and he was living in a house with his parents. They wasn't in no manger. Whole nother conversation. Okay. But I'm just wanting you to see how the scriptures talk about the use of the constellation, the stars, the astrology, astronomy, zodiac. Oh, not the dreaded demonic zodiac. Yes. Come on, grow up, be mature. Okay. But it's not Christianity only. In the Quran, that's Islam, in Surah Al-Fasilat, it says, and we will show them our signs in the horizon and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that this is the truth. Listen to what it said by the prophet in the Shura. And we will show them our signs in the horizons or the heavens and within themselves, noting the tie and the synchronicity between humanity and the heavens, until it becomes clear to them that this is the truth. In Shura and Nahal, it says, and he has subjected for you the night and the day, and the sun and the moon and the stars are subjected to your command. In Surah Al-Mulk, it says, Allah's creation of the heavens and stars is described as a sign of his power and his design. In Hinduism, in the Vedas, it says, the stars, the sun, and other celestial bodies are seen as a manifestation of the divine order and the truth of God. In Hinduism, I'm just running through some of the major religions. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says, Krishna says, of the stars, I am the moon, symbolizing the divine manifesting through celestial bodies as a means of guiding and inspiring all of humankind. In Taoism, in the book of Tao, Tao speaks in broader terms about the universe and the natural world, reflecting the way of Tao, or the divine way. In the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Egyptians' religious texts, such as the Book of the Dead, often refers to the stars as gods, ancestral beings, and eternal guides in the afterlife, with celestial bodies reflecting divine wisdom and order. And I could go on and on and on and show you that in every religious practice known to mankind throughout the globe, there is a reference to the constellations, the stars, the planetary movement, all being a tool used by the all of everything to relate, promote, and display its plan for humanity and for the global community. So if you are of a religious ilk, whatever that religion is, God was intentional and deliberate in making sure that there is woven into each of these particular practices this revelatory knowledge that we should pay attention to the stars, the constellations, the planetary movement, and all of nature, because all are synced together to promote and to translate and transmit the divine mind of God, to show us the glory of God. And when you start to think in terms of the fact that since everything emanates from God, everything flows out of God and is connected to God, then you also understand our oneness, not only with God, but with everything that exists. Because if all things flow out of God and are connected to God, including us, then that connectivity then is also evident in our connection to everything else. So we are connected to the stars and the moons and the planets and to all of nature, the trees and the oceans and all animal life and plant life, that we are interconnected with each other, that we are all at different realms and different levels, but that we are tied and tethered to each other reaching back to the divine that lives in each one of us. That each of us, as a divine animated expression of the all of everything, is tied equally to every other expression and image of God that exists in the world. So then it makes sense that all of creation, all of the constellations, and all of nature would be transmitting these messages that reveal the mind of God to what? To trigger within humanity a remembrance, remembering, reassembling, reconnecting, reminding, reconfiguring our thoughts so that we are able to remember what was told, what we have known prior to our entrance into this three-dimensional existence. So it is prophetic, but it is also triggering, to trigger our conscious mind so that we will instinctively, intuitively, and then consciously be aware of what our next move should be. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? Does it make sense to you so far? Great day, and I've only got about 13 minutes left. Ooh, I told you we're not going to get it all into one empowerment session. We're not going to get there. Come on, TikTok. Y'all falling behind over here. I'm not even at 2,000 likes yet. Come on. I need y'all to start double tapping that screen. I know what I'm saying. It might be holding your attention and you forget that you're supposed to tap the screen. I need you to tap the screen. Take a breath and tap the screen. Come on, double tap, double tap. I need a bunch of likes from all of you that are watching on TikTok. I need the same thing from over here at Facebook and on YouTube. I need you to be hitting that like button, and I need you to hit the share button. Share, 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 share. Okay? So it makes absolute sense. Now, why is all of this important? Why is it so important that we get a ground foundational understanding of how the heavens declare, prophesy, speak, and reveal, promote, transmit, and transmute this mind of God, the glory of God, the insight of God, and show us those things which are to come? Why is this so important? Because of the planetary movement that is taking place right now. For the past 15 years, with the exception of these last few months, from January up until, well, actually December up until now, Pluto, one of the planets in our galaxy, has been seated in the constellation of Pisces. Was it Pisces? No, Capricorn. It was seated in Capricorn for the last 15 years. 15 years. And that has global, had a global effect. It has a global implication as well. But we are past that stage. Somewhere around the latter part of December of last year, the Pluto began to make its move out of Capricorn and enter into the constellation Aquarius. Okay? This was the beginning of a new age, a new era, a new time period. But it only remained in Aquarius for a short period of time, leaving back out, traveling back to Capricorn to remain there for just a couple of months, and then return to Aquarius, make its transition. It will move again to Aquarius, where it will remain for the next 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the signification and the sign of a dramatic, revolutionary, evolutionary shifting, a paradigm shift that is taking place in the community, in the global community. As I said earlier, the last time that Pluto made this trek, and Pluto is the planet that signifies technology, advancement, spirituality, intuition, insight, prophetic sight, psychic sight, clairvoyant sight, evolutionary change. The last time that this happened was 1792. 1700s of years ago. 1792. And yet, November the 19th, Pluto will complete its trek from Capricorn and be seated into Aquarius and will remain there for the next 20 years. Now, let me say something to you. Let me say something to you that I need for you to make sure that you grasp and you hear and that you hold on to, even if you forget everything that I've said thus far. The decisions, choices, and perspective that you cling, hold, grasp, and embrace and make in this moment, are going to affect the next 20 years of your life. Let me say it again. It is very important that you are clear about this, that you are very intentional and deliberate, mindful and conscious about the decisions, choices, mindset, the energetic flow that you tie yourself to, the anointing that you embrace, your understanding of the kingdom of God or the spirit world or the universe, whatever terminology you want to use, is vitally important, because what you tie yourself to, the decisions and choices you are beginning to make now, are going to have a ripple effect over the next 20 years of your life. Let me say it one more time for the people sitting in the back. The decisions and choices that you are about to make in these next coming weeks. I'm not talking about an election. Okay, that's included, but it's included in everything. It includes everything, because God is not American. So the American election is not the end all and be all. It's important. It's important that you get out and vote, and that you vote using some critical thinking and use some common sense and not the nonsense that's being spewed by some of these nutcases that are out here. But this goes way beyond American politics. This is universal. Are you hearing what I'm saying? The decisions and choices that you make now, the flow that you tie and tether yourself to now in these coming weeks leading up to November the 19th. And yes, I'm giving a very specific date. November the 19th is when Pluto will settle in Aquarius for the next 20 years. It is going to determine the next 20 years of your life. So you need to be very intentional, deliberate, circumspect about the decisions and choices that you are making in these next few weeks. Now you're saying, well, why'd you wait till now? I didn't. I've been talking about this since December of last year. You just getting on the train now. Okay? I've been screaming it from the mountaintop for months now, okay? So the decisions and choices, whether it is emotional decisions, romantic decisions, financial decisions, physical decisions, religious decisions, spiritual decisions, educational decisions, business decisions, monetary decisions, your decisions you make in this moment are going to have a carryover effect for the next 20 years of your life. And for those of you who have children and grandchildren or great-grandchildren, you are making choices that will affect their life as well. It's not removing their individual responsibility or their ability to make choices, especially when they come to an age of majority. But I'm saying that your choices will have a ripple effect throughout generations. And so it's important that you make informed, thoughtful, critical thinking, choices, and deliberate intentional moves that align you with the highest vision and version that you have for your life. I am not telling you that one choice is better than another. One is right, one is wrong. There is no wrong choice except for the choice that counteracts and that is antithetical to the vision you have for your own life. That's what makes it right or wrong. It has nothing to do with religious innuendos or overtones, religious rhetoric or legalism or dogma. The choice, whether it is right or wrong, is determined by whether or not the choice and decisions that you are making are opposed to the life and the vision and version that you have for your life moving forward. So you have to decide, what is your vision for your life? What is the highest version you have for your life? What is it that you have determined within your conscious awareness you want your life to look like, that you want to manifest, that you want to materialize in this three-dimensional earth during this iteration of your life? What is it that you desire to bring into your reality? And then make decisions and choices that align with that reality. Because once you set this course, changing course midstream is not impossible, but it will be extremely difficult for you to change course in the midst of the stream. It will be like you are swimming with a tide and all of a sudden decide to turn around and swim against the tide. It will take more work, more effort, more sweat, more time for you to change course. It is better for you to make decisions that align with where you want to be, where you desire to, what you desire to manifest going forward, so that you can swim with the current of the choice and decision that you make, and that centrifugal force will carry you forward at an accelerated pace. So it is crucial in this moment. Woo, I'm yelling. I need to calm down, huh? It is crucial at this moment. I get really intense because I'm so passionate about this. It is crucial in this moment that you are very intentional and deliberate about the decisions and choices that you're going to make moving forward. Now, for some of you, that's a bit intimidating because you have no clue about what it is you want your life to look like. You have no clue. You have none whatsoever because you haven't taken the time to do the introspective work to actually begin to formulate an image, an imagination, a vision. And without a vision, you perish. You begin to spoil, go bad, decay. Okay? And so it's a little intimidating. I'm telling you to take the time right now, through prayer, through meditation, affirmative prayer, affirmations, whatever other practice, spiritual practices that you embrace, use them to do some introspective and begin to make some conscious decisions about what it is you want your life to look like. What is your divine purpose? What is your original intent? What is your reason for being? And no one can tell you that. I don't care how psychic, how prophetic, how clairvoyant they think that they are. You are the only one who can absolutely solidify what your purpose is. You have to decide, what is my purpose? And you don't have to have it all figured out as far as how do I get to it? How do I achieve it? But you do need to have a vision for it. You do need to have a conscious awareness, an image of it, so that you can begin to instinctively, intuitively make choices and decisions with intent and deliberateness that align themselves with that vision. Are you understanding what I'm saying? across every facet of your life, where you're going to live, who you're going to be with, the people you're going to connect with, where you're going to do business, whether you're going to start business or not start a business, what kind of business, how you're going to run it, what your ethics, your values, your morals are going to be, where you're going to go, what are you trying to build, what do you want to manifest, how you want your children to respond to you. And there's the signal from TikTok that I've hit the 1 hour mark. They give you that little puzzle, which means that I got to start tying it up and bringing it to a close. I told you we were not going to cover it all today. I didn't even get to any of the changes that are going to take place. I will say this then. Let me say this. I guess this is what they call a teaser. These transitions and changes will be most notable in these areas. Technology. There's going to be a technological revolution and innovational revolution. So technology in the power structure throughout the global community. Change, revolutionary change, not just at the head, but the entire power structure across the globe. The focus on the environment and climate and social justice. Dramatic change unfolding and about to take place. In our next empowerment session, I'm going to unpack each of these. Well, I'll get to probably just one of them at each session. So it's going to be an ongoing thing, a series. Okay? Number 4, we're about to see a revolutionary change in the collective consciousness of every individual as it relates to identity. A dramatic revolutionary shift and expansion of individual and collective identity. What it means to be a spirit being human is about to shift. Oh yeah, there will always be the old guard that'll try and hang on to what was, but they will be in the minority. Okay? They will be in the minority. And there is going to be a spiritual and conscious evolution. More and more people exodusing and walking away from religious ideologies and no longer being tied and tethered to dogma, legalism, or ritual, and will begin to embrace their true divine nature and spiritually reconnect with that, all of everything, that divine force, source, spirit, God that lives within each of us. And there is going to be a sexual revolution, sexual, sensual revolution that will change the dynamic of humanity. Those are the areas. That encompasses a whole lot. Trust me, it does. Everything from business to industry to media to education, all of it is encompassed within those areas. And I am going to unpack each and every one of those as we go through these series of conversations and teachings over these next few weeks. Well, not few weeks, these next multiple weeks. I'll just say it like that. Okay? Because I'm not going to rush through it. I'm going to take my time and then unpack each and every single one of them and let you know what you can expect and what you can see. You can write it down. You can mark it. You can say this guy said it. And if it doesn't happen the way that I say it's going to happen, you can come back and call me a liar publicly. I don't care. That's how confident and sure I am of what I'm getting ready to say to you. These things that are going to happen and going to take place. You can get on live and I'll join you as your guest and you can say you're a liar, you're a fraud, you're a phony. It didn't happen like you said. You made that stuff up. I will gladly sit there with you and take the hit and say, yep, you're right, I'm wrong then. Because I am confident that what I will say to you is 100% guaranteed and correct and accurate. When's the last time you heard that from some of these so-called prophets? I know exactly, because I've been to the future and I saw what unfolded. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I saw. That's what I said. I've been to what you call the future. It's really not future. It is happening now. Everything is happening in the now. But from our linear perspective, then it seemed like the future. But that's a whole nother conversation as well. And I've seen it, and I'm going to tell it to you. I'm not trying to gatekeep. I'm going to unfold it all, lay it bare. And I invite your questions, and I invite your comments and your perspective on any and everything that I say. Okay. All right. It's been an hour and 6 minutes. I'm 6 minutes over my time. I got to quit. If you don't remember anything else from this conversation, remember this. It is important in these next few weeks leading up to November the 19th that you be very deliberate and intentional, circumspect about the choices, decisions that you are making, what you involve yourself with, what you tie yourself with, who you allow into your circle, whose circle you try and step into. Okay, because don't be so arrogant to think that your circle is so special that everybody's trying to get in your circle. There are some people's circle that you need to be trying to get into, and you need to come up in order to qualify to get into their circle. Oh, come on now. Come on. Because sometimes you the problem. Okay? Be very intentional, very deliberate. And if you don't know what your purpose is, if you don't have a vision for your life, sit your hind part down somewhere, do some introspective work, and begin to get a clear vision for your life. Don't continue to live an accidental, incidental life where you just falling into stuff. Sit down and be intentional. Okay? Spend some time being intentional and think about what your vision for your life is. Okay? Do that so that you don't end up decaying. You don't end up spoiling, going bad without a vision. The people perish, spoil, decay, end up going bad, just coming to naught, being dormant, useless. You need vision. You need something that you're working for, something that you're aiming for, something that you're looking to bring into your reality, something that you're looking to create, to cultivate, and to curate into your lived experience. So take some time and actually do it. And then meet me here next week, same time, 9 a.m., and we're going to start to unpack those things that are going to unfold in these coming months that will shape the next 20 years of our experience in this earthly plane. All right? Y'all got it? Good. Now listen, those of you who tuned in, whether you're on Facebook or you're watching me on TikTok or you're watching me on YouTube, I need your support. I need your support with engagement, but I also need your support financially to help continue to expand and grow this platform. So if you'd like to contribute on TikTok, you see in the description that it has my CashApp there, emergelec. That's the name of this movement, emergelec. You can send a gift that way. I appreciate it. You're not obligated. Nothing bad gonna happen to you if you don't. Oh, if you don't give, God gonna get you. That's nonsense. God ain't out to get nobody. Okay? But if you like to and you feel so led to do so, then you can give. Okay? For those of you who are watching me on YouTube and on Facebook, I'm about to put on screen right now the different means that you are able to give using CashApp, Zelle, PayPal, or Venmo. You can use any of these means that you like to make your contribution. For those of you who are partners with the Emerge movement, you know that we use the practice of tithing, not because it's a command, not because there's any kind of blessing and curse that's attached to it, and oh, God gonna do it. None of that. It is a spiritual practice, a means to an end, a way of giving. Okay? So if you like to, those of you who are partners, rather, I'm asking you to continue to sow your tithe. You know what the offering is. your seed is and what the sacrifice is. Do that today for the month of November. Oh, I haven't published that on in the partner portal. So I need to publish that, partners. So be on the lookout for that today. I'll make sure that I put that up today. Those of you who would like to become partners, it's very simple to do. Simply shoot me an email to the email address that you see on your screen. Put it back on screen. There we go. And request an information packet, or just simply say, I want in, and I will send you an information packet. You sign the partnership agreement and you are automatically in, and you have access to the partner portal where there is a lot more information and insight that I share with the partners in that private portal. Yes, there's a cost associated with it. So if you're going to be a partner, then you've got to be willing to pay that cost. Just like there's a cost to going to McDonald's, there's a cost to coming. Ooh, I don't like using McDonald's as it relates to my portal. I think I'm a little more high class. Like there's a cost to going to Ruth's Chris or some other place. There's a cost to becoming a partner as well. So what you receive in the partner portal is valuable, extremely valuable insight and tools to help you cultivate and curate the life that you desire. So you can do that simply by becoming a partner. Write to the email address that you see on the screen, request the packet. I'll send it out to you. Send back your signed partner agreement and you are in. I'll send you a link that will bring you directly to the partner portal and you are in. And then you can access all the information that's already there and the information that I'm going to be posting there very soon. Okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have an absolutely wonderful and stupendous day. I'm going to sign off here on YouTube and on Facebook, and I'll be signing off with you on TikTok momentarily. Good night. Goodbye, everybody.
Some of you are even afraid to dream, afraid to imagine. But I'm here to tell you that you are an infinite, limitless, boundless being. Are you willing to do what is necessary to have what you desire?
You've been listening to Apostle Isaac Miles, the disruptive innovator, a mentor, an author, a motivational speaker, an entrepreneur, and the founder and spiritual director at emergelec Life Enrichment Center. Please take a minute to subscribe, like, and share this page. If you'd like to become a partner, you can do so by emailing us at emerge.lifecenter@gmail.com. Again, that's emerge.lifecenter@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for watching.